to be here with you tonight. It is a great night in North Carolina. I just came from Greenville, North Carolina, where Greg Murphy was announced the winner up there in Greenville in the 3rd District. And I just cannot tell you how honored I am to be here with you tonight, but mostly I am honored.
Thank you, North Carolina. And thank you to the good people of the 9th District. I'm going to begin by thanking my family.
I think he just did.
My wife, Jo, who I love more than anything on this earth. What? And my son, Jack. We undertook this as a family together. We did. You guys and all the families across this district are why I do this and what I'm fighting for. I'm going to thank a lot of people tonight, so settle in. I want to focus for a minute on the incredible campaign team and all of our amazing volunteers who worked so hard and believed in this cause. These guys' names never end up on the sheet because they never want to hear anything about themselves, but they are two geniuses in North Carolina and in the political operations of the state and nation. I mean when I say they're geniuses. Jim Blaine and Ray Martin. And our campaign staff. I've never seen anybody work harder than this man, Peter Barnes, campaign manager. Matt Judge, our political director. Jeff Minch, finance director. Sasha Duncan, press secretary. James Burrows and Emily Boyer, who did everything they could imaginably do. And even John Wynn, my legislative assistant, who came down and helped the campaign with his time off. Thank you, John. Jessica Proud, who handled PR for the campaign. Now, if I started thanking everybody else that's helped this campaign in so many immeasurable ways, you really would be here until after midnight. I can't do that, even though I love every one of you. But there are a few people who've been so extraordinary that I've got to name them. And the moment can't pass without doing it. The gentleman who sat down with me on a Saturday and said, Dan, you have to do this. He's a mentor of many years. His name is Kevin Kennelly, and I'm grateful to Kevin for all of his wisdom. Two people who were equally active in sort of picking me up on their shoulders and getting us through that first phase of the necessary funding to make this campaign run, Jamie Harris and Ed Peacock. And a gentleman I know to be with us here tonight taught me a lot in the North Carolina Senate and has helped me every inch of the way down this path in many, many ways, Senator Tommy Tucker. Who even helped us arrange Bill Harris this marvelous place tonight to gather everybody in a place where we could all spread out and have enough room. Thank you so much, Bill. Now, it just begins there, because they're all the county party leaders, the district leaders, Chairman John Stewart standing right there, other GOP leaders across the 9th District of North Carolina who knocked on thousands of doors, made thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of telephone calls, staffing polls, hosting events, donating your time, your money, your energy to this cause. We did this together. Tonight is a victory shared by all who believe in the promise of America. In the promise of American exceptionalism, and in the promise of freedom and opportunity. We believe in those promises, but we know they are not guaranteed. Ronald Reagan said it. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. It wasn't passed on in our bloodstream. It must be fought for and protected. And I'm going to Washington to lead that fight on behalf of the 9th District. There's another man who's been leading that fight for all of America, a man who is, I think, undoubtedly the greatest fighter ever to occupy the White House, President Donald J. Trump. And look how he laid himself on the line for this race. I'm grateful for the President's extraordinary support throughout this campaign, and especially the closing barnstorm ending with last night's rally in Fayetteville. And I must take a moment to comment separately on the help of his terrific partner, our Vice President Mike Pence, who gave of his time and personal warmth, not only in two separate events in July and August in Fayetteville and Washington, but in crossing the entire district by motorcade yesterday with stops in Charlotte, Wingate, Marshville, Pembroke, before rendezvousing with President Trump in Fayetteville. I also want to offer my sincere thanks for the huge support from Leader McCarthy, Whip Scalise, the NRCC and its chairman Tom Emmer, and their amazing staff, many of whom have been onboarded with us the last several weeks of the campaign. Thank you so much to all of you guys. But it didn't stop there. I also thank the Republican National Committee and Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel, Co-Chair Tommy Hicks, the North Carolina Republican Party, its Chairman Michael Whatley, and Vice Chair Miriam Chu, and her amazing sign truck. You guys seen that, right? I wish Miriam could be here tonight, because we need the sign truck. We could pull it into space in here. And also the Club for Growth, Congressman Mark Meadows, and the House Freedom Fund. The White House, Republican leadership, and all our Republican and conservative partners were there for us every step of the way, because they all understood what was at stake in this election. Last night I told President Trump we weren't tired of winning. Are we tired of winning? We're not tired of winning. We're just getting started winning, because we're seeing the successful results of President Trump's agenda. A booming economy with 6 million new jobs, record low unemployment across every demographic, lower taxes for our job creators and our families. We have a world leader on the stage, you have a leader on the world stage who has sent a message loud and clear: America first. President Trump is putting American workers and American jobs first. And that's why when I get to Washington, one of my first priorities is going to be pushing to ratify the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement. But a strong nation must also be a secure nation. We must secure our borders once and for all. It's time for Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats in Washington to stop playing politics with our national security and give the President the money he needs to build the wall. We're going to secure our border, but we're not going to stop there. We must put an end to these dangerous sanctuary policies like the one next door in Mecklenburg County, though they're putting North Carolinians public at risk. Nearly 500 dangerous criminal illegal aliens have been let back out on our streets, allowed to prey again on victims. That must end, and it must end now. Tonight, the voters of North Carolina sent a message that shouldn't just be heard within the confines of the 9th District. It should reverberate across this country and in the halls of the Capitol. The voters said no to the radical liberal policies being pushed by today's Democratic Party. They said no. They said no to Nancy Pelosi, AOC, and the Squad. And they said no to the harassment, obstruction, and impeachment mob that wants to undermine this country's success for their own power. But they said yes to America. Yes to more jobs, more freedom, more opportunity. They said yes to protecting life and our Constitution. They said yes to the rule of law. And so now, the campaign is over. And we have to get to work governing. Like Abraham Lincoln once wrote, "Be sure you put your feet in the right place, then stand firm." I'm going to Washington with clear eyes and a steel spine. We know what our mission is, and we know the future of our country is dependent on leaders who will stand strong to protect our values. I promise you tonight that I will never stop fighting for our values. And just as I have done in the Senate, I will work across the aisle with anyone who wants to solve problems and deliver results for North Carolina families. I hope the Democrats in Washington are watching this incredible victory and realize what they're doing is not working. Let's hope they see this as an opportunity to stop playing presidential politics and come to the table to work with us and work with this president. There's a lot we can get done. Border security, infrastructure, affordable health care, and continuing to build on our economic success. This is what people are expecting from us. And I'm going to roll up my sleeves and get to work on behalf of the families and the taxpayers of the 9th District. And let me state clearly tonight that I intend to continue crisscrossing this district, talking directly with voters. I'm going to show up on your doorstep and in your local coffee shop. This seat belongs to the people, and we will have an open door to every citizen of the 9th District. And to those who have felt left behind by a government that favors special interests and the well-connected over hardworking men and women, know that I hear you. This is your district. It's your district. And together we can work to take America to her greatest heights yet. Tonight was the first step toward taking back the House of Representatives in 2020 to keep this country on a path of prosperity and strength. Because under this president, America is great again. We stand for our flag and we kneel to our Maker. We honor our veterans and we respect the men and women of law enforcement. We want the best for our families and for our neighbors' families. We want our kids and grandkids to grow up in a safe and strong nation with the promises of abundant opportunity on the horizon. We are farmers and entrepreneurs and teachers and truck drivers and factory workers. We are all Americans, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. You all might want to hang around for this. The time would be now. Is this one of Jim Blaine's tricks? You need mine now? Yeah, right. I'm not sure it'll work on the speaker. Here we go. Oh, am I supposed to call that? He's not going to call me, I'm going to call him. I really like my AirPods, though. Does y'all love this? I'm not sure that'll work. You think it'll work? Hi, this is Dan Bishop. Is Mick Mulvaney on hand? And I'm actually calling the President of the United States. Very good. I'm trying. Let's see how this is going to work. Is the speaker at the top or the bottom? That's what I thought. Chill. It's on speakerphone. Is this Mick? Mick, you're talking to me, and I'd say about 300 of my closest friends.
Well, listen, I know it's a great night for you. I remember what it's like for me, and I can only imagine what it's like for you. So that's a great deal. I'm going to have the president call you in a few minutes. Can I talk to you? Can you take a speakerphone for just a second?
Not a chance. Yeah, I'll do that. Hang on a second. You guys stand by. We'll make sure we can do that again. Mine, I'm good. Yes, sir, I will. Thank you, Mick. All right, bye. Everybody be at ease. We'll let you know when it happens, all right? We got everybody. Is everybody up? Who's not here? Who else do we not here? This is the greatest campaign staff ever put together right here, ladies and gentlemen. Hold it. Ho, 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 ho. Unknown telephone call calling. Dan Bishop. I'd be pleased to speak with the Vice President. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Vice President. I'm here with 300 of your closest friends. Would you consent to me putting you on the speaker? Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Could I put you on speakerphone and you say just a couple of words to these folks who are here tonight who've done so much?
Speaker, but I'm happy to do it.
Now you are, sir.
Hey, everybody, this is Vice President Mike Pence calling from Washington, D.C. Congratulations. Joe, for all of her hard work on the campaign. Let me also just say to each and every one of you who worked so hard to get this good man, this principled conservative, elected to represent North Carolina's 9th Congressional District in Washington, D.C. You have done a great service to the people of this district by electing a man of integrity and principle, a proven leader, but you also, I want to assure you, you've done a great service to the cause and to the country because when Congressman Dan Bishop gets sworn in on Capitol Hill, together we're going to keep America going. So congratulations, Dan. Congratulations, Joe, and to everybody. We just couldn't be more happy with you and really looking forward to working with you and seeing you in our nation's capital.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Thank you for your call, Mr. Vice President. I've told the people here of the warmth and kindness that you brought to so many in the visits that you've had both in Fayetteville and in Washington and then in the motorcade all the way across this district. I'm more grateful to you, sir, than I can explain. Thank you to you, and of course I hope we'll speak with President Trump, but thanks to both of you for putting us over the top